Hey gardeners, this is Linda. I'm back after harvesting all my garlic. I'm sitting on the bench getting myself a little hydrated with some water. I put my hair up with a piece of raffia. I don't know why I never can find my hair ties. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what's left of the garden beds and then show you my harvest. This is the last of my hardneck garlic. I have to let it dry for about 3 weeks so that the bulbs form a papery skin, and that way you can store it for later use. So let me turn you around. This is my Georgia crystal, and this is ready like a long time ago. You want to harvest your garlic when it's got some brown leaves and some green leaves. You don't want the whole thing to be brown because that means it's starting to rot in the soil, so you need to get it up. So if you look at this plant, we got some green leaves and then we got some brown. Some of these other ones are really brown. So I want to get that up. So I'm going to dig that all up. I'm going to bring a composting fork. That's what I did to loosen up the soil to get the garlic up. And then I'll come back and show you my harvest. The clouds are starting to come in, so I'm afraid I'm going to get rain. You want to harvest your garlic when it's dry. And once you harvest it, you won't want to get it wet. You want to let it dry and cure for a couple of weeks. So I'll show you that part after I get the garlic up. Fingers crossed I get it done before it rains. 4 varieties left. And if you see on my markers here, you can see what they are. Montana Giant, Russian Giant, Romanian Red, and I don't even know how to say that word, but it's a purple one. And if you look at these garlic plants, they are ready to harvest because you've got some green leaves and you've got some brown leaves. But this could stay another day till I'm re-energized. These ones here have lots of green on their leaves, so I'm not worried about leaving those in for a little while longer. So I'm pooped today. And then this one was one I let to go to seed so I could show you what escape was and what the seeds are looking like and that kind of stuff. So I'll get back over here a couple of days and harvest the rest of this garlic. And I'll show you what I'm working on the table. Here's the 4 varieties that I've harvested. Again, hardneck garlic. So, Amish Rocambole, Music, that's one of my favorites. German Xtra Hardy. Look at the size of the bulb on this one. That's going into a replant this fall, definitely. And then this one, I need to clean these up, but they're all good size bulbs. I wanted to mention, this is the original stick that I put in with magic marker. It looks like it says Russian purple. I'm not sure. I'll check my invoice to see which it was, but I definitely recommend get some paint sticks from the Home Depot, paint them the color you like, use your label maker to put your variety names on there, and then you know what you got. That's my advice from an old Yankee gardener. And then I told you before, with this little brush I just used to brush off the dirt, the extra dirt, put that back in the garden. So I'm going to finish these up and head on home. But if you liked what you saw, or if you learned something, hit the subscribe button. That helps my channel to grow. Share this on your social media. Nice picture for Instagram or on Facebook. A lot of people have questions on how to grow garlic and what kind of garlic to grow and where do you get garlic from. So lots of questions, but it's easy. I'm a little late this year, and I'm going to blame that on the weather. So that's all I got for you today. Okay, this is my Montana Giant. I can't say enough about labeling stuff. And this is a nice bulb. It's all dried out all the way up the stem here. This one's going to be planting in the fall because that's nice and big. Just make sure you don't have any worms or mold or any other kind of disease going on. See, this one, it's got some kind of stuff going on. This is kind of my reject pile, which I'm going to dry and then break up the cloves and use it in my kitchen. But here's another one that you don't want to store, because I don't need all that. Here's my Georgia crystal. I grow that every year. I like that one. And I got some nice big bulbs. Like I said, it's a nice day, so I'll go outside and clean these all up and throw the tops in my compost bin. That's good enough. This is a nice variety. Look at how big this bulb is. It's a good size bulb. I have a little bite marks here and there. I think it's from the squirrels. I like to watch the squirrels. They're kind of fun, but sometimes they get into shenanigans. The squirrels don't particularly like the garlic, but they just take a bite out of it and then just walk away, you know? So, yeah. So if I can avoid the hornet's nest above me, I can get these out in the yard and clean them up. And then I'll come back and show you what they look like. Now, it's August, so if you're thinking of planting garlic for next year and you don't have any yet, get on the internet and order it before your favorite variety runs out. Like I said in a past video, you can always get garlic at the farmer's market. You might not know the variety, but now is the time to order your garlic so you have it. All right, so I'll see you back in a little while. Okay, I'm back. I've cleaned up all my hardneck garlic and my softneck garlic, and I'll show you what I've got left and what my process is. You need to cure your garlic for a couple of weeks, which this has been cured in the garage in a dark place with good ventilation. And I just put it in a bunch of these cardboard boxes that I got at Aldi's. That's kind of a cheap option. So I'll go buy all of these so you can read the labels. And you can tell if something is a hardneck garlic or a softneck garlic by the neck. The neck is hard. So there's a bunch more. I got some down here on the ground. My Georgia crystal, I grew that last year, and that's my favorite. I got some good sized bulbs there. They look so beautiful, all cleaned up. And any, labels that you can't read, or somebody who doesn't have a label, I'll put a list in this description of all the varieties that I've grown. If it doesn't have a stick in it, it's probably Georgia crystal, because I have a lot of that I've grown. So here's all the different varieties. And like I said, it took me a couple hours to get this cleaned up. Here's the pile of tops. That's the third batch that I pulled off the garlic, and I dumped it in my compost. And then I just trimmed everything with these little, pruners. And I got some of these baskets at the dollar store. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take any garlic that I got that is not good for storage, like this one. It's got some rotten spots, but it's got some other beautiful spots. And so what I'll do is I'll peel those apart and either use them in the kitchen or use them in another way. So I'm going to try to show you the process one-handed. This is what your garlic looks like after it's been cured for a while. All the tops are nice and brown. So you cut the top off, throw it in your pile, and then look down the center there, and that should be nice and dry. If it's green in there or if there's any moisture, it's not totally cured. And then you're just going to cut the roots off the bottom with your little pruners here. And here's one that I've cut the roots off and cleaned it up a little. You look down the shaft there and it's nice and dry. So that's what you want. Now, when you're cleaning this off, all you have to do is rub the dirt off the bottom with your thumb. And if you feel like you need to, you can peel the first layer off. But it's best to leave as much of this paper skin on the garlic so it's going to store. That's the whole reason you have the paper skin and you're doing the curing, so you can store it. But all of this garlic you can use right now. So, depending on what you want to do. Sometimes I will take a bunch of garlic like this and see all the little heads. That's not good for braiding. It's a hardneck. And so what I do is I take some of this, I don't know what you call this, garden twine or raffia, and I will put these all together and just tie them up in a bundle. And sometimes I'll put a little bit of sprigs of lavender or something like that, or a flower or something like that, so that if I go to somebody's house, I bring them some of my garlic from my garden. So that's it on cleaning them up. Like I said, it was a big job. It took me a couple hours to do, but it was a nice day, so it's not too terrible. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sort my bulbs. And the biggest bulbs are the ones I'm going to save for my seed garlic. And I'll show you some nice big bulbs over here. Look at this Montana Giant. They're not kidding. It's a good sized bulb. That one's a little defective, but some of these other cloves are fine. And I just kind of sort them out. Which one's big, which ones are small, which ones need to go in the kitchen pile, as I call it. These are ones that I haven't cleaned up yet, just so, in case you wanted to see what it looked like. It's kind of the before and the after. And here's the name of this variety. But these look pretty good. Make sure you check them for any kind of damage or splitting. Some of them, I have to admit, I did split with the garden fork when I was digging them up. So, yeah. Here's my Georgia crystal. I got tons of those. Like I said, I planted those last year and I love them. And this one will probably go in my pile for seed garlic because that's nice and big. You see how this one is. This will go in my kitchen because it's a big bulb, but it's, it's kind of rotty. And these, you can just bundle these necks together. Now the soft neck garlic has obviously a soft neck, but the leaves, you can braid them into a bunch. And that's what you see in the specialty stores when you see braided garlic. It's soft neck garlic. Soft neck garlic stores better than hardneck, but hardneck has a better flavor. So 6 of one, a half a dozen of the other. Look at this Georgia Xtra Hardy. That's a good sized bulb. I think all of these are good sized bulbs. I like the Red River for the soft neck ones. And let me show you what I'm going to do for storing these. These will all go back in the garage. They're, I got rid of all the dirt and got some newspapers down so it can dry nice, stay nice. I might get some more of those red baskets from the dollar store and just store them in those because they get a lot of holes in them, so they're got good ventilation and they stack. So, and they're cheap. So lots of good reasons to go to the dollar store, especially if you're a gardener on a budget. Now, these are bags that I bought from Seed Saver Exchange. You can look on those online. And they're just net bags. They're plastic. They're not, cotton or anything like that. They're plastic. But they have a drawstring on them. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the biggest bulbs I have of each variety in this bag and then put an index card on it inside to let me know what variety it is. I already have my sticks, my labels and stuff. I did that. I labeled everything with these, permanent kind of sticks because I wanted to pick out the varieties that I like the best. So at some point, all this garlic's going to just get all mixed together and used in my kitchen. But while I was harvesting, I wanted to make sure I knew which variety was which. Now, you're probably wondering, what the heck are you going to do with all this garlic? I cook. I use garlic in everything. It's food group for me. But I'll put it in my tomato sauce when I do the canning of my tomato sauce. But some other things you can do with your garlic is you can mix a piece of ginger and some garlic cloves in your food processor with a little water and make garlic ginger paste, which is good in Indian recipes. And then you can freeze that in like little ice cube trays so that you can pull it out of your freezer if you want to. You can also slice up the garlic and put it in your put it in your dehydrator, and when it's all dry, then you can pulverize it, and then you've got your own garlic powder. I use garlic powder and onion powder like crazy, so that's another way you can use your garlic. Sometimes I'll take a little small jelly jar or something like that and fill it up with olive oil, and then I'll peel my garlic and put that in there, and that way, you get some nice pickled kind of garlic, and it will make the olive oil kind of taste garlicky, so you can, do that in your cooking. So there's a couple, 3 different ideas that you can use for your garlic, and the biggest tip of all, it's August 1st, so if you want any of these particular varieties, order them now because they get sold out quick, especially the favorites. But you can plant garlic that you got from the farmer's market. You can plant organic garlic that you got from the grocery store. Make sure it's organic because the grocery stores spray things so they don't sprout. So you always want anything you're going to plant that you got from the grocery store, you want to make sure it's organic. So I'm going to get back to cleaning up this last bunch of garlic and hopefully reuse these boxes for my onions, because I got a whole bunch of onions in the back of my car that I need to put in the garage to cure those also. So if you've learned anything in this video, give me a like, give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe, that way you stay part of this garden community. Hit the notification bell, that way you'll know when I'm posting another video. Like I said, I got onions, so I'm going to be posting a video about onions, so if that's something that interests you, hit the notification bell and then you'll know when that video comes out. If you have some other content that you want me to film, maybe you're interested in growing potatoes, or maybe you're interested in growing carrots, leave me a comment in the description below. And like I always say, happy gardening, and I'll see you in the next one.